What's your answer?
I mean, I sort of thought, like, for example, it'd be like in politics when someone like makes a decision to support something, and then the people who are against that like might release information and stuff to like hurt that person. It's like political campaign or something like that. Like, I mean, for example, like Herman Cain was a Republican. It was a black Republican who was running for president, and then like eventually people started putting out rumors and stuff about him, and it eventually made him just quit his presidency. So.
And I think also,
His campaign. Yeah.
I think people also today are much better at making, just look at like public, or like, I don't know, like people can make the public see things that maybe aren't true, and people are very easily manipulated, and I just think people are like a lot smarter about how they can make people see something that isn't true, and it's just, I don't know, I think that
like
kind of
social media and stuff.
Yeah, you can be somebody you're not.
Yeah, and it's like people are always gonna be like out to like plot against others, and like for on like baseball, like when all the steroid stuff came out, like there was a guy like Jose Canseco who like wrote a book and like said that all these people like did steroids, and it's like some was obviously true, but like some wasn't, and like he was probably just doing that out of like jealousy that like he got caught and like other guys did better than him, and so I think it can happen a lot like today, just out of jealousy, people will do irrational things. So, yeah, another question. Yeah. All right. Do you think that, like, because of, like, if you look at the Freudian psychology and everything like that, it says that, like, guys are driven by wanting love from somebody else. So do you think that Othello, when he's, like, telling all his stories and stuff, do you think that he, like, exaggerates details when he's telling it just to Desdemona, just to get her to, like, fall in love with him even more, like, make himself seem manlier? And, like, do you think it worked? I mean, obviously.
Well, yeah, it clearly worked, because I would,
Yeah.
I would think that he probably like, I'm sure he would like exaggerate some things about how he like was like injured and like fought or didn't fight, like, and people just like want to impress others and like want to seem better than they really are, and so I'm sure when he was like telling her the stories of war and like how he was freed from slavery and stuff, he probably exaggerated some of those things.
But do you think that he, like, presented it differently to her father and, like, all of the people that he was telling it to then, based on, like, rather than when he was telling it just to Desdemona? Like, when she would come back and, like, they would talk for hours. I think that he would have presented it a lot differently because, I mean, obviously you want to make yourself appear appealing to the girl, and so you're going to present yourself differently in front of her than you would in front of other people.
I mean, also the people there might also know about him and his war and his like thing and what he did in war and stuff, and doesn't want to be called out from everyone.
All right, we're getting into final comment time.
Oh god. I don't really think he did change it for her, because I don't think he was like, well, he was telling her the stories. I don't think he was like, oh, I'm gonna brag to her, get her in, put her in the checkbox. I don't think that was the plan. I think he was just kind of like telling her what happened, and then like once he started to see that she loved him, that's kind of how he fell in love with her. Yeah. Anyone?
Should we do another question or?
I will say, give them a hand!
Hey, that's my thing.
Yeah.
I want to break the fourth wall. Like just talk to the audience and thank everyone for coming. I'd like to thank the audience for coming out tonight. It's a great honor being here speaking to you.
This gets a lot of hits on YouTube.
Hopefully, a lot of hits on YouTube.
If I get the hits in YouTube.
Carlos Pereira.
All right.
Follow me on Twitter at Colin Fan.
Thank you.
I think Connor's comment about how Iago's actions were irrational because he was hurting people that he actually cared about on the way up, like his wife, for example. He didn't need to kill her, but he killed her basically irrationally out of that. And then Matt's comment about how Iago motivates himself because he enjoys manipulating people and enjoys the game that he's playing. You see throughout the movie, I remember, but I'm not exactly sure about the play, he has chess pieces. Well, that's a game. People play chess because it's fun, and they play against opponents. Well, it's the same thing here. He likes manipulating. He likes to play the game.
Very good.
I think it was Colin said this, but I like how he said not everybody act irrationally, and how the Duke like called in both people before he made the decision, so it wasn't. I mean, yeah.
I liked Colin's comment about the three things that like motivated people, because I think that that's still like true today in society. Like, yeah.
I like Jack's comment about how like Othello is like irrational, and he like didn't give Desdemona like the benefit of the doubt of like knowing like whether she was telling the truth or not. So, yeah.
I also like Colin's comment about the three things: honor, position, and love that motivate somebody to, do stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they were talking about that, I liked how Kyle added the jealousy factor, because that's what motivated Iago.
How do you say Kyle? That's why. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Sorry, Dan, I acknowledge your existence. Okay. So I think it was Connor. He was talking about like the two different motives for Iago and how he played two different roles to kind of do what he was doing as like rational, and like it just goes along with Freud's big idea of life encouragement and death encouragement, which I really like that he mentioned that. So yeah, good job.
I took interest in the use of the word love as they had in context, to reference like all the characters' attraction to Desdemona, and I guess it plays into the Freudian psychology thing, but I think it might be possible that Othello is the only one of all the men who lusted for Desdemona who really felt love for her at any point, and that maybe that's what set him apart, but that the others didn't feel love for her. They had a drive or a desire.
I had down Matt's comment where he talked about the baseball staying with the steroids, and yeah.
Yeah, I liked that comment by Matt too, and when he talked about like when you're like getting like a real life situation, like getting a divorce, and like how you like go to your friends or like have an investigator, that kind of thing.
I liked Matt's comment.
Yeah, Matt.
About how everyone acts irrationally and how Rodrigo's is blinded by love.
And Connor.
That's fine.
When he said how people are easily manipulated by the media and easily believe things.
Okay,
Yo creo que Mateo.
No ganaste.
Ella dice Mateo.
Mateo, give us a speech.
Yeah, so I'd like to thank everyone for saying my comment, and I'm glad I beat Colin.